I do my recaps on Wednesday and I do my predictions. I record them on the same day, upload them on Thursday. Um, I should probably start doing them on Tuesdays. That's when most people upload them. I just do my Wednesdays because that's when Tree uploads his sports ball. So yeah, um, without further ado, wow. Um, this was a great week. This was an amazing week, actually. The Green Bay Packers lost. The Lions lost. My picks were 9-5. Which let me add that. Oh, they're 8-6. Okay, I predicted the Bears to lose, but obviously that is the main thing. That is, I'm very happy to be wrong on that one. We're gonna talk about that. Let me just put my picks in. So on the season, I'm currently 63, 43, and 1. That tie, of course, being the week 1 tie. So, without further ado, great week 7. A season altering win. This is the best win this season by far because week 1 it was good. It was a good win. Being above 500, being undefeated for a week, beating a good team in San Francisco. But it was only by 9 points. Um, and a lot of people discounted it because the weather, which I still think is stupid. But we went into prime time football and blew out a team, destroyed them. It was only a little iffy uh, around the late second quarter, those two Zappy touchdown drives. But other than that, the Patriots did nothing. We destroyed them on all sides of the ball, special teams, offense, defense. 5 turnovers, I believe, for us, like two fumbles and 3 interceptions or something. I think yeah, 4 turnovers forced. We had 1 interception by Fields, but that was tipped. I'm not even going to talk about that. Fields had arguably the best game of his career. He had his way with the Patriots defense. Effortless at times. The way he ran for first downs with like 3rd and 20, 3rd and 15. Effortless passes to where I couldn't even see the receiver. He just caught it. 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, one. It's just this was his breakout game in my opinion. Is he going to be perfect for the rest of the season? No. There's going to be some rough games, going to be some good games. But this was, I was shocked. This is the best win we've had in a while. We blew out a team. We defended George Hollis's legacy. Did not let Belichick pass us up. Again, that would have been so bad if we let Belichick pass up the win total of George Hollis while playing against us. Of course, he's going to pass it up. He's probably going to pass up Shula as well and then retire. But it's the principle that we're not going to let that happen. That wasn't the reason we won, though. The reason we won is we just played better. We had that mini bye week was a blessing for us. Totally different team from what I saw 2 Thursdays ago. It's amazing. They actually are listening to what needs to be done, what I've been saying all season. Get them out of the pocket. Let the offense do its thing. Let Fields do his thing. That's what they've been doing. Fields still isn't perfect. He has ways to go like any rookie quarterback, but it's very reassuring to see this. Do I think we're gonna win out or whatever? No. Probably gonna lose this week. But still, we're 3-4. I did not expect us to win this game. I really didn't. And I'm pleasantly surprised. And wow, I'm still on cloud 9 after this win. This is the type of win that can keep you going through hard times. This is a type of win that's bigger than just 1 week. People try to minimize it, but the media is paying attention to us now, getting Fields praise. This was a breakout game for the Bears. And while we're probably not going to do any better than 7 and 10, 8 and 9 this year, we have a very bright future. And this win is proof of it. Just an amazing team effort, domination on prime time in front of the entire nation. We went in there and we fucked them up. And on top of that, the Bulls went in versus the Celtics. We're down a bit, like the Bears were. They were down by 4. Bulls were down by 20. Both won at the same time, and the Blackhawks won the next day. And now let's check. It's Wednesday right now. I got class tomorrow. Let's check in on the Bulls. Bulls are up by 20 right now versus the Pacers. Hopefully they can. So, yeah, great win. Just amazing win. I'm very happy. I'm gonna probably watch a few more clips of it before I go to bed tonight. Because I know we're probably not gonna win against Dallas, but a win like that, it's good to look back. It's nothing like the Texans win in Week 3. I wasn't happy about that win. I didn't even watch highlights. I mean, I was happy that we won, but it's not really a win worth remembering. It's like a thank goodness we won. Woo. Move on. But this is one you look back on with optimism. This this is a big win for this organization. We also traded Robert Quinn out. No, we probably should have traded him in the offseason. We got a 4th-round pick out of it. Another good move. This rebuild's going along good. It's overdue, but it has to be done. And this one's very reassuring. It's just go Bears. Next up, let's talk about teams with not bright futures. Let's go chronological. Thursday night football. An actually watchable game. Surprisingly, I know. Thursday night football being watchable. What? Shocker. Total blowout. After the second half, 2 pick sixes pretty much sealed the game. By Andy Dalton, like back to back. Um, Saints had a good garbage time effort to make the score like respectable, but other than that, entertaining Thursday night game. I watched it on Twitch with a Twitch chat, which is one of the funniest ways to watch a game. Not gonna lie. Um, if they can keep this up, Thursday night football might actually come back because that was actually a good game compared to the terrible Commanders Bears game, which as a Bears fan we should have won that game. But I much rather would have won this game as opposed to an ugly, forgettable win. Even though it was on prime time, this win is so much better in every way. I would much rather have this one, so I'll take it. And even if we won that game, I don't know if we would have done the adjustments necessary. So losing that game in the long term is probably better for us. Good win by the Cardinals to get back on track. And with a division like the NFC West, um, it's wide open. In the NFC, you can legitimately make a case for every team in the NFC South and West making the playoffs. Cause look at this. Well, not every team in the NFC, but like you got the NFC East and North pretty much locked up uh, in terms of these teams. I got all these teams making the playoffs. The North is a 3-game lead by the Vikings, and honestly, I can see the Bears finishing a better record than the Packers. But yeah, but look at this. The Seahawks, the fucking Seahawks, are in top. I did not expect that. I had them going like 5-12 or 4-13, and they've already matched that week 7. And looking at their schedule, Giants lose lose, but I can see them beating the Bucks. I can see them beating the Raiders. I can see them upsetting the Rams, beat the Panthers, lose to the Niners, lose to the Chiefs, lose to the. Ooh, yeah, they got a little bit of a rough schedule, but I can see them winning 7 to 8 games easily. Rams too, barely holding on to that 7th seed. It's all very close. Same thing with the NFC South this year is going to be like the 2020 um NFC East. I genuinely think it is in the realm of possibility, especially with the extended season now. I genuinely think that the winner of that division could have a losing record at 8-9, maybe even 7-10. Um, for all I know, the tanking Carolina Panthers can pull together. Like, look at this schedule after the bye. The hardest opponent you face, um, in this stretch is the fucking Seahawks. They can legitimately win out. So let's just do a scenario here. You lose to the Seahawks, you lose to the Broncos, you lose to the Ravens, but you beat the Falcons, and let's say you beat the Broncos, lose to the Bengals. That there is an 8-9 record. And looking at the other schedule, let's go through the rest. So you lose to the Chargers. I think the Bears will beat you there. I think after the New England game, I think the Bears win a close one. You beat the Commanders, you beat the Steelers, Saints beat you, Ravens beat you, Cardinals beat you, Bucks beat you. 6-11. In fact, no, actually, no, let's change it up a bit. I say Falcons coming off a bye, win that. 7-10. Let's go to the Aints. You beat the Raiders, lose to the Ravens, you beat the Steelers, upset the Rams, you lose to the Niners, you lose to the Bucks. Actually, no. You beat the Bucks. I say you also. And then finally, let's look at the final team. I don't have them beating the Ravens. I don't have them beating the Rams. I'll say they can beat the Seahawks. I say they can probably beat the Browns. They're going to lose to the Niners. They're going to lose to the Bengals. And I say they can beat the Cardinals. So see, look at that. That is a realistic scenario of what the NFC South could be. It's very possible. Anyway, moving on. Great win by the Panthers and the Bucks. Did I talk about them, or was I talking about this team? I honestly forgot. Um, I just wanted to go over that playoff scenario. But yeah, this win, it's really forgettable. They traded McCaffrey over to the Niners. Thought they were gonna get blown the fuck out. Hey, turns out it's the opposite day this week, and they pulled out a win that I'm just shocked by, if I'm being honest. No one expected this, but good for the. I know it's a rival, it's a hated rivalry, so Panther fans enjoy it. Um, I mean, honestly, I like the Panthers. I think they messed up getting Baker, but if they can make, they can easily go both ways. They can either go on a nice little playoff run and then tank next year, or they can tank this year. And with how wide open their division is, um, the Bucks are on a downfall, and the Falcons and Saints are all rebuilding. So there's going to be a lot of parity in the NFC South, and I honestly think that over the next 3 years, every team is going to win at least once. Panthers can win a division once, Falcons win, Saints win. Going to be a lot of rebuilding teams. Bucks, they got their Super Bowl. Now it's time for the rough times. If I'm a Bucks fan, I take it. Because you had 2 good years, playoff wins. You got it. You got your Super Bowl. If the Bears did that, if they went all in, Justin Field magical playoff run this year to get a Super Bowl, and for the next 5 years they sucked, maybe like one playoff. I would take that. You went all in, you got what you wanted, Bucks. Now you got to pay the consequence. Great win by the Panthers, but in my opinion, keep on tanking because while you probably could make the playoffs with 8 or 9 wins, only reason I have you winning that many is because it's theoretical. It's your best course of action to tank. 4 wins or less. Next up, the Commanders versus the Packers. Even as a biased Bears fan, while I wanted the Commanders to win this game, I genuinely did not think. I thought the Packers would beat them by at least 10. And wow, um, that was shocking. I can't believe they lost to the commies, the Washington commies, as people would say. I'm just wow. If I'm a Packers fan, I'm really worried right now because let's look at their schedule. You're gonna lose to Buffalo. You're gonna beat the Lions. You're probably gonna beat lose to the Cowboys. You're gonna beat the Titans. You're gonna lose to the Eagles. And honestly, with the way the Bears have been playing, it's pretty parity. I genuinely think my Bears are finally gonna come through. But coming off a bye, I think they can beat the Rams. I think they can beat the Dolphins. I think they can beat the Vikings. And I think they can probably beat the Lions. They can still go 9-8. As an honest Bears fan, I'm not gonna count out the Packers. I'm sure maybe that right there, 9-8. But even if they go 9-8 with how the Vikings are doing, look at this. They're gonna win that game. They're gonna win that game. They're gonna lose. I think they're also gonna lose, but they're gonna go 2 straight wins over the Patriots. That one, I think the Vikings will win, especially with Breece Hall out, but I know they got the replacement. Lions upset that game, but they come back, they beat the Colts, they beat the Giants, and then the Bears beat them with backups. So yeah, just Packers. Um, they're gonna be 3-5 in my. They're gonna be 3-5 in my opinion coming out. This right here is a must-win game. If I'm the Green Bay Packers, if you want any hope to make the playoffs. Because if you cannot beat the Detroit Lions, who have reverted to their 2020 spot where Andy fucking Dalton and Matt Nagy were able to sweep them, if you cannot beat that team, you have no business making the playoffs or being anywhere near it. Because after that, you have the Cowboys, and you have a Titans team that could very well beat you. You have an Eagles team that is going to beat you. You have a Bears team that, in my opinion, has gotten better while you've gotten worse. At home, that's a winnable game for the Bears, at least at this current moment. Then you go on a bye. You play the defending Super Bowl champs. I think you win that one. Then you play the Dolphins, winnable game. Vikings, divisional game, winnable game. And then the Lions, with nothing to play for, want to play spoiler? I think they will. So if I'm a Packers fan, if you don't get a win against the Lions, the season's over. You're teetering on the edge after a Bills loss if you lose that game. Terrible. Next up, Cowboys, Lions. Lions are going through it right now. They started off promising the first 4 games. Highest scoring offense in the league. Putting up a shit ton of points pretty much every game. 35, 36, 45. And then this killed them. And they went on a bye. And it's like, okay, maybe they might come back and wake up. Nope. And they're playing the Dolphins. Nope. They're playing the Bears. Nope. Playing the Giants. Nope. Playing the Bills. Nope. I have them beating the Jags. I think they can probably beat the Panthers. They're going to lose to the Jets. I think they'll probably beat the Bears. At least once. Actually, no. But they're going to beat the Packers, maybe. So, 5-12 is very possible. But it's just like, it's just very disheartening. I really wanted the Lions to do good. I really did. Um, but it's like, it's not like the Bears have a similar record, at least until last week. But we were in games. The Lions, the last 2 games, were not in. I mean, the halftime was 6-3, but final scores has been blowouts. Okay. Next up, the 3 p.m. game. Chiefs. It was close in the beginning. McCaffrey looked good, but after a certain while, it's just the Chiefs ran away with it. They're gonna easily win the AFC West again because they're an elite team. The only team in the league that is better than them is the Buffalo Bills and maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are the only teams that are better than the Kansas City Chiefs, and not by much. And looking at the Chiefs' schedule, I don't see a lot of teams that can beat them. They're gonna beat the Titans. They're gonna beat the Jags. I think the Chargers beat them once because it's the divisional game. They're gonna beat the Rams. They're gonna get revenge over the Bengals. I think Broncos upset just because it's been so long since the divisional game. Broncos haven't beaten them since 2015. I think that's going to be a fluke upset win, but they're going to bounce back and win out. I got them losing to the Raiders. Backups. They're going to play the backups. 12-5. But more like 13-4 because the last loss doesn't really count. It's the Chiefs' backups. So, another easy playoff season, and I see them going far. Next up, see. Oh, I already did that game. I didn't watch most of this game, but Jags were in it. While the Jags will probably finish with a similar record, they're gonna be better than 3-14. That's for sure. Ah, as the Jags they're playing better. Lawrence is playing better. There's been some bad interceptions and shit, but they have been all in all playing better. And looking at their schedule, I know I've been doing this a lot, but I just like doing this. Looking at the schedule, I think they win back-to-back games. If they win that, they can still go 7-10, in my opinion. It's a better team than last year, but they still just aren't there. They aren't good enough to really win that many games. And the Giants are. The Giants are. I don't really know if they're a Super Bowl contender, but they are a good team. People can call them a fluke all they want. But at the end of the day, besides this, they have won. Now, not all of their wins have been pretty. That's what people are pointing out. They barely beat the Titans off a last second 2-point conversion. They barely beat the terrible Panthers. They lost to the Cowboys. They the Bears beat themselves that game. They beat up on the Packers. They beat a good Ravens team and so they don't really have the best competition, but at the end of the day, you don't get to pick and choose. They do have a ridiculously easy schedule. Um with the Commanders and the Colts and all that. but you don't get to pick your schedule. If you win the games, you win the games. We'll have to see what they do in the playoffs. But right now they're 6-1, and they look pretty good to me. Next up, the Bengals. The Bengals are back. A much needed win by them after starting off the season 0-2, and then 2-2, falling to 2-3. Then they've won. They've won two straight, two great high-scoring wins by Joe Burrow. Going to play Cleveland on Monday Night Football this week. And after that, from the Bengals, you have to prove that it wasn't some fluke. You have to. And by doing that, you have to at least, in my opinion, if I'm a Bengals fan, you have to get back to the playoffs and beat a team. Win a playoff game. That is what we have to do, in my opinion. Um, if it's a team like Buffalo or the Chiefs, they have no chance. However, if I'm a Bengals fan, if I have to play the Chiefs first round and I can beat them, only team stopping you is Buffalo. So I think the Bengals will be returning to the playoffs. I really do. Okay, that concludes that and the NFC teams. Let's move on to AFC. Sunday Night Football. Huh. Good. It was an okay game. I fell asleep halfway through because I was a bit tired. Low scoring, but I did fall asleep to watching Urinating Trees stream on it. Pickett did not have that good a game, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie. He's in a much better situation than Fields or Trevor Lawrence were in their rookie season, so he doesn't get as much slack. Because if you're in a better situation, you already have the weapons, but he's still a rookie. I'm not making excuses for him, but I think it's too early to call him a bust or anything. But he did not play good in that game. But I still think he can be a good quarterback for the Steelers. He just needs time. People give up on these quarterbacks way too fast. I still like him. I think he's going to be good for Pittsburgh. Just keep surrounding him with talent. Next up, but yeah, good win by the Dolphins. A much needed win. To get back on track. They're 4-3 now. Mike McDaniel got a good win. To at the Dolphins, who they play next week? Oh, you're playing the Lions next week. Playing the Bears. Bears might beat you if they can put up good, but the Lions get to 5-3. I don't see the Lions being. However, never underestimate your opponent. The Lions could. I think they had the potential to upset a team or two, and I think they will. I think they could probably upset the Packers, maybe the Cowboys. Oh, no, never mind. They already lost to the Cowboys. But yeah, good win, Miami. Next up, ugly game. Ugly game. It reminds me of the Texans win. If I'm a Jets fan, this is probably the ugliest win all season. You lost your star running back, Brees Hall. It was a Pyrrhic victory against a really shit Broncos team. That is like one or two wins away from being de facto eliminated from the playoffs halfway through the season. But Zach Wilson didn't play all that good, but he did enough to win. Um, at the end of the day, a win is a win. A win's a win. That is all that matters. So a good win by the Jets. Congrats. Next up, another game I didn't really catch all that much on. Pretty much a blowout. It was close for a bit. Then I think a pick six or whatever pretty much sealed it for the Raiders. But other than that, you beat the Texans. We beat them too. A solid win by the Raiders. They have a very uphill battle to fight to get back to 500, and from there they got to get back to even being in the playoff picture. So they got a long hill to climb, but they took the first step, got an easy win after a bye week at home against the Texans. Not much more to say. It's yeah. Next up, got an AFC North rivalry matchup. Browns shot themselves in the foot. They had a chance to tie it, but they fucked up. Bad call for a touchdown. Browns' season's already kind of in shambles. But a good win by the Ravens. Good win by the Ravens. Not really much more to say there. And then finally, oh shit, the Titans Colts. Another game basic ugly game. The Titans are one of the most forgettable one seeds of all time, and they have the benefit of playing in arguably the worst division in the AFC, or at least the most forgettable division in the AFC. So they pretty much get a guaranteed playoff spot alongside the Colts. In my personal opinion, these games right here are going to decide who wins and who wins the division and who goes to the playoffs. So I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. This is a must-win because none of these teams are going to make the playoffs via wild card. Your only chance is to win the division or bust. Good win by the Titans. Congrats. Anyway, see ya.